So I'll be presenting uh, this topic, the digital agriculture landscape of the rice agri-food value chain and its opportunities in using OpenRan. Okay, the presentation would follow this flow. I'll first introduce what is Masagana Rice Industry Development Program, followed by the digital agriculture landscape, what D4Ag PH is all about. Then I will go into some specific technologies that were developed over the past, I think, 10 or 15 years. I'll start with the Philippine Rice Information System, or PRISM, the Drones for Rice project, Automon, and Rice Crop Advisory Services, or RCMAS. Now, these technologies are presented on a top-down approach. So we're looking at country scale application down to landscape and then to field level applications. And each scale, we can see opportunities where Open RAN uh, will greatly benefit our agriculture sector. It's also a way of how I can relate the challenges in terms of connectivity and interoperability within each of these applications. So let me start first with Masagana Rice Industry Development Program. Uh, just, I would like to see some hands who has heard about this program. Okay, anyway, this program was launched by the National Rice Program, I think a year or a year and a half ago, and it is based on four core strategies. Uh, Ma for Matatag, this is for climate resiliency or climate change adaptations. Sama-sama for farm clustering and consolidation. Ga for ganado, enthusiasm between or enthusiastic farmer entrepreneur in the rice value chain, and Na for napapanahon or timeliness and relevant focus on digital transformation. It is on this fourth strategy I will focus most of my discussion. Okay. So this image was borrowed from the presentation of the National Rice Program. In the nutshell, it shows the how technologies, methodologies are interlinked and can be harnessed to leverage increase in production, uplifting of farmers' income, and and well-being. So we see here precision agriculture, farming apps, access to financial institution, service providers, research and development, and so on. Notice that the core, part of the core implementation relies on interconnections or interconnectivity. It might be broken because there are some challenges that uh, are occurring within each sectors. But what is actually the status of our digital agriculture? And that is where D4Ag PH comes in. So for National Rice Program to implement the Masagana uh, strategy, they have to know what is the current landscape. And this is where D4Ag comes into the picture. It tries to answer questions like what is the current status of the digital agriculture landscape. We know there are a lot of digital apps, tools, as well as services that are available for farmers now. Uh, and farmers are use have been using mobile devices, computers, although not majority, but at least they have already access to these informations. Unfortunately, not all of these apps or tools, digital tools, has reached quite a number of these end users. So with D4Ag, we'll try to find out how to increase awareness as well as adoption. And in this study, we found out several tools that are actually interrelated, but are developed and uh, are developed separately by different collaborating agencies, private sectors, but they all collect the same sets of information and delivers the same advisories or recommendations to the farmer. So if we map all the digital tools that are available, citing sources from ERI, from PhilRise, from DA, DOST, uh, private organizations, um, Google Play Stores, Apple App Stores, we came up with around 67 digital tools. And when we map them based on the agri-food value chain, composed of input, production, consolidation, processing, wholesaling, retailing, and consumption, notice that most of the tools are in the input and production sector, mostly focusing on advisories, recommendations, identifications. A few ventured into insurance, financing, and of course, uh, services for provided by drone technologies. There are also services that caters to learning, such as the ag extensions and so on. That is in the middle. These are the tools that cuts across different sectors in the value chain. So there's a big gap in the consolidation and processing. What do these tools have all in common? They need interconnectivity in order to push their technologies to the end users and for end users to get hold of this technology. Are there questions so far?
Hi, sir.
Hello?
No questions, but there are some
Okay.
a few comments here that I'll read later in the open forum.
Yes. All right. Let me continue. So I'll introduce some of the technologies that I have worked with DA with a team in Erie. And one of them is PRISM, or the Philippine Rice Information System. The system is, I think, more than 10 years now, institutionalized within DA. It provides information on the where rice is grown throughout the country, when they are grown or when they are planted, and how much can be harvested. In their website, they produce maps as well as tabular data. Maps of the rice area per semester or per season, the dates that are planted, damages if typhoon or floods occur in their region. They also monitor yield as well as the total rice production. All these are made possible because of freely accessible satellite data, particularly Sentinel-1, and of course, methodologies such as machine learning and cloud computing, as well as crop model to estimate yield. Uh, as you can see in the background, uh, all these things, all these elements are put together to produce informative maps together with their quantitative values. These maps, of course, are useless without any ground data. Ground data, we need number one to calibrate the model per season and also to validate the output at the end of the season. And this is done by using mobile devices, particularly smartphone, to capture the current uh, field condition. And this information, there are several sets of questions are transmitted to the central server. Now, opportunity here or the challenge here is sending the information from mobile devices to the central server for processing. Usually, the protocol states that data must be submitted within 3 to 5 days. Okay. One of the problems encountered by field or regional officers is that from the field they have to collect all the information, travel back to the city, either go to their office to submit the data because that's where they have the internet connection, or go to a mall and then access the freely available network to submit their collected data. Also, it takes time to travel from the central office to the rice field, especially in remote areas. And an opportunity if Open RAN can be established in remote locations, that would be a plus in providing near real-time information to validate the data that were processed and produced by the mapping activities. Another project is the drones for rice. At this is an early stage of the project, so we're developing standard drone application protocols uh, for direct seeding, fertilizer application, and pesticide application. It's the regulations that are actually uh, preventing the widespread use of drones for rice and other crops utilization. Okay. So that's why we need the standard protocol. So we use drone that can carry uh, processed rice seed and broadcast them to the field. So a half day activity for a hectare can be only a 10-minute activity with a drone. Okay. So in terms of coverage time, that would it would shorten that activity. The same drone can be used to apply fertilizer and pesticides, but there are still regulations concerning the what fertilizer to use or what pesticide to use. Drones can also be used to monitor crop status as well as pest and disease assessments. So in this image, it shows a vegetation index where red indicates crops with problems and green are those that are healthy. In between red and green will be some sort of issue with the crop. And that can be mapped from field to the entire landscape. So in this portion, we're looking at areas where uh, crops has not been where areas where has not been planted or crops are performing poorly. These are the yellow spots. Could also use machine learning to identify weeds within the plots. Automon is an IoT-based decision support tool for irrigation. So this image here shows an example of the sensor uh, placed in a PVC pipe, 4-inch PVC pipe, and implanted within inside the field. So they are distributed along the entire rice rice landscape. Okay, and what it measures is the level of water within the field. It uses GSM as a low-cost transmission of information to the central server. In the central server, there is a dashboard that monitors the field level. It provides an alarm, an alert, if the field is overflooded or if there's not enough in the field, not enough water in the field. And those registered farmers receive text messages saying that your field is not flooded, you need to have more water, or your field is overflooded, you have to release some of the water. So other IoT sensors that can be supplement to this technology are those that monitors temperature, uh, nitrogen level, or methane, and so on. Even an AWS can be set up with IoT uh, specifications. And then lastly is RCMAS, or a site-specific crop and nutrient management recommendation. Now, it provides this recommendation on a field basis. So farmer register their field, and then The application will look at recommendations provided by DA and specify as particular variety, the amount to be planted, as well as the amount of fertilizer, the timing of application, and so those are some of the examples in agriculture where technologies are being applied to help farmers decide and get most of what they are planting. All right.